So I want to give you some exciting news. There are two questions that we get asked more than any other questions. Those two questions, not in any particular order, are why don't you do boat shows? And we're gonna put out a video about that very shortly, and I'll explain why we don't do boat shows. But the other biggie is, please tell us when you're going to be offering the Kraken 44. When is it going to go into production? And I'm very pleased now to be able to tell you there's massive interest in this boat. And, we did want to start building this boat before now, but we needed to get our own production shipyard open in Gdynia, Poland. And that is now open and in production. So it's time to move on with the 44. There's some factors that I want to just firstly let me tell you about. And that is that key issues. Let's talk about some key issues on the 44. This boat is going to be a true Kraken, so she will have the zero keel. She will be heavy displacement. She will have the alpha rudder system. She will have the Solent rig. She will have an engine and equipment room, which is a unique feature, as many people will know, in Kraken yachts, and we intend to carry that forward into the 44. I think that's an absolutely critical element that needs to be included in any proper world voyaging yacht. And this boat is aimed at exactly the same market, people that want to go off and sail around the world. And it's pointed out to me, I just will mention, it's pointed out to me by another owner who happens to be in Montenegro right now also. Was talking to John Leslie just a couple of days ago, and he asked a friend of his, Demetrio, if he'd like to come out and sail with us, because we needed a couple of extra pairs of hands, because Stuart was doing the filming. And he came out, and we'd hardly cleared the marina, and he said, "Oh wow, this is a very different boat." And he said, "This boat feels so incredibly safe." And of course, the motion of a Kraken is something that really we can't properly demonstrate on a video. But I think the best way we can explain it is that a Kraken has a motion like a ship, not like a production boat. And that will be true of the 44 exactly the same as well. It's going to have a good size rig, because I believe that you should be able to reef some sail area down when you need to, but when you need the extra sail area, and you get a lot more light winds than you do heavy winds when you're crossing oceans, then you need to be able to sail on without starting the generator and without starting to burn fuel or sitting there for days and days while the boat's getting sailing. Krakens, I think, deserve the title of the world's safest cruising boats. And if you check on Google, you'll find, you're going to come up #1, world's safest cruising boats, world's safest blue water boats, world's safest sailing boats. And we intend to maintain that by looking at every element of the boat, and it will be no compromise from the normal Kraken standards. It'll be a raised saloon. We're being asked about the layouts of this. It will be a raised saloon. And the reason that is important is that if you're going to want to sail across oceans, you're going to need to have good tank space, and you're going to need plenty of fuel on board. And this boat will have all of that, and we can facilitate that because of the larger tanks we can carry. It will also have the triple fuel polishing system. And that simply means you're never running your boat on dirty fuel. And for those that don't know and you haven't experienced the problems of diesel bug yet, and it's not much fun, I will tell you, trying to clear out all of your tanks because your whole system's clogged up with diesel bug. This boat, again, will have the triple fuel polishing system that is featured in every other Kraken. So, yeah, it's got the lot. We're going to build this boat in one layout. And one of the other comments that we get time and time again is that, please, can you build a Kraken that I can afford? And we get that not everybody has got the money to buy a 50 or a 58, But a 44 is a perfect size boat to go off and sail the world. I did it first in my Endurance 35, and back in that day, that boat was certainly a decent sized boat, and a 44 will really accommodate 4 people sailing across oceans very well. And so we want to try and keep the cost down as hard as we can. That's why there is going to be one standard layout. You will still be able to choose your furnishing colours and your timber choices, upholstery. Of course, we're going to make sure that this boat becomes your boat. But the layout that we're working on, which is a double berth, aft berth, she'll be a centre cockpit, just the same as all the other Krakens, because that's the safest configuration. Keep you in the middle of the boat, and that keeps you safe. And of course, it'll have a deep cockpit too, so that you're fully protected, and a single helm. We're not going down the fashion parade route. We're going down the this boat crosses oceans route. But this is not going to be a showboat. This is going to be a true blue water Kraken, and she's going to be capable of sailing the world. The features that we have on that we will never compromise. She is never going to have a bolt-on keel. It's going to have the zero keel, of course. It's going to have the fully protected alpha rudder system, which means that you can change the bearings in the water without having to take the boat out to dry. Why do you want to do that? It's not a big deal, you might think, to haul the boat out and have the bearing changed, or change the bearing yourself by dropping the rudder. But the problem is, if you're going to sail the parts of the world that we know a lot of our customers want to do, which is the off-grid, we can call it off-grid sailing, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea maybe, most of the Pacific, all the way through the Philippines, you're not going to find places to haul out. So this boat has got to be able to be sustained fully by staying in the water for 2 or 3 years at a time. That's how we see this working. So yeah, I mean, we're really cracking on with it now. The interior layout is almost finished. The program is that we will deliver the first boat in spring of 2028. And we want you to go on our website, please. Check out the details there. You'll find it all on there by the time this video comes out. And send us your inquiries, and we'll fill you in with all of the finer details that you need to know. Let's talk about something that we know is fundamental to everybody, and that's price. Firstly, we won't be compromising and doing the same thing as the rest of the industry and then selling you a boat or showing you a boat that's this price or this price. Oh, you've got spend another 30 or 40% to bring it up to a reasonable cruising specification. The boat, the same as the 50, the 58, the 44, will have the full world cruising spec. That means she'll have a water maker. That means she'll have a bow thruster. That means she's got the triple fuel polishing system. That means she's a Solent rig. And all of the features that you're going to expect to find on any size Kraken, you're going to find on this boat. But the real critical question, the one that I'm sure everybody wants to know, is, come on, Dick, tell us how much. Okay, well, the how much is this. We are trying, and I'm going to caveat that, trying, and I'll explain the reason why in a second, but we are trying to deliver this boat with the full world cruising specification, which means you need to add nothing to it to go off and sail the world, for $1 million US or just less. That's a tough order for this kind of a boat, because there's no compromise on quality. All the equipment, all the quality, and all of the layout is all going to be just exactly what you guys now expect in a Kraken. But at $1 million USD, which is roughly 900,000 euros or 750,000 pounds, it's quite a tough order, because right now we do have a very volatile world economic situation with the price of oil and therefore resin and everything else going up considerably. But we do think that that's going to be well past by the time we certainly hope it's going to be well past by the time this boat comes into production, which, as I said earlier, is aimed at spring 28. And so we're going to stay hard to this, and we're going to try and be very close to that number. So if you're interested, please go on the website, send us an inquiry. We've already sold the first 3 Kraken 44s, which is an amazing thing because we've been holding back and trying not to really go too quick with this because we needed our production yard to be operational first. We've had the 44 on the drawing board for 3 years already, and now it's going into production. And we do hope that you guys that are watching this, some of you are going to become Kraken 44 owners. Thank you.